and how she changed her perspective. She talks about using a growth mindset and gives examples of personal struggles shaping her to be the person she is today.
Imagine a young girl just walking into a building not knowing what to expect and just having all those nerves around her. However, she also has this bittersweet attitude towards what she's facing, and she also is excited to face these new obstacles. This girl is me about 1.5 years ago. I moved from Northern Virginia all the way 3,000 miles away to Northern California about 1.5 years ago before high school started. This changed my life vastly, but also helped me approach new challenges and obstacles in a way that some people might not today. For 13 years of my life, I've been surrounded by the same people, the same community, in the exact same location, just with these four friends, and I've always been with them ever since. I still talk to them, of course, but changing my location and moving changed us a lot, as we couldn't communicate as much as we could before. We still meet occasionally, but of course, as I said before, this changed a lot. But this also changed my attitude about talking to new people. I've always been an introvert, but that also that gave me more challenges to face. As an introvert, it's really difficult to network with people, and I think some of you might know that if you guys are introverts. So, approximately 23% of families with children under 18 move every year, so this isn't a new thing, but that doesn't mean it isn't a challenge. That's almost one in 4 families, so make sure to remember that. So I moved, as I said before, I moved from Northern Virginia to Northern California, and my house was packed up in about a month, which is so crazy to me because I spent years in that house, over 10 years in that house, just making memories and making all these new stories with my family. My sister was born in that house, and I lived there ever since I was 2 years old. But once I moved, I faced some new challenges that I always hoped that I never would have. When I moved, I came to DV. That was the first school I'd been to, the first high school I'd been to, and I instantly felt all this pressure that I wasn't good enough to be here. The first day of school, I walked into my first class. After 15 minutes of searching for it, just lost about where I should sit and who I should sit with. Then there was this one girl, she greeted me so kindly, and she ended up being my best friend now. And that just made me think that there's all these people in the world that always try to help you no matter where you are, and you should always remember that there's always someone out there to help you. There's always challenges, but that doesn't mean that there aren't things that are good for you. When I walked in, I didn't realize that she was trying to be kind to me, and I always had this negative perception, and I had this really bad attitude because I was feeling so moody that day because, of course, I'd been moved all the way across the country, and I didn't really want to be there. I went home that day trying to have my attitude, trying to bring my attitude up, even though it was really sad that day. And the week went by really slowly and really fast, but that doesn't mean that I didn't take it personally. The week went by, my mood just kept getting worse, and the week after, I eventually just broke down. My mom came up to me, she was like, "What's wrong?" And it took her an hour to get me to say what was wrong, and I still couldn't do it. I kept saying, "I don't know," and I didn't know what to say to her, because I myself didn't really know what was wrong. And that was affecting a lot personally to me. It was affecting my academics, it was affecting my social life, it was just affecting me a lot personally. This led me to eat lunch alone on days, and it also led me to just be on my own in the library, just, minding my own business and being really quiet. But over time, homecoming came along. I didn't go because I didn't know anyone, so it kept going on. I had taken freshman leadership, and that actually helped me a lot more than I would have thought. Originally, I really hated the class because I felt like there were all these close-knit communities in the class, and I didn't know anyone in that class. But then the girl I mentioned earlier, she became one of the best friends in my life that brought my mood up every day and brought my challenges to a halt and always tried to cheer me up every day of my life. She was one of my best friends, and she still is, and that led me to take freshman leadership with a new perspective. It became one of my favorite classes in the day. It was my first thing in the morning and made me look forward to school as well. It helped me lighten my mood every day, and it helped me take the day with a new perception. Additionally, I also tried new things. I started taking Bhangra, which is this Punjabi folk dance, and I also joined FBLA, which is the business club on campus. Both these activities helped me create a community to support me and to help learn new things. And especially with Bhangra, it was something I had never tried before and I had always wanted to. And it helped me get out of my comfort zone and try new things. As a beginner Bhangra dancer, I learned new things every day. I was in a class where I didn't know anyone, but I tried to talk to others. Tried to get out of that shell that I was in as an introvert, and I tried to talk to new people. Now, I still do Bhangra, and I enjoy it so much, and I've made so many new friends through it, and just this weekend I had a Bhangra performance as well. That showed me that trying new things can always change who you are for the better. But also, you should always have that confidence to try new things. So, this leads me to my next point. Always have a growth mindset. A growth mindset helped me so much in finding myself and finding who I was in the future. I always wanted to try new things, but I never had the courage to do so. So with the growth mindset, I always thought, what can I do to make myself better? What can I do to try to change who I am for the better? And a growth mindset helped me a lot with this. I tried FBLA as well, and I also applied to be an instructor in the middle school program. Eventually, I got through and I started teaching middle schoolers every week, and it was a 90-minute session per week, but that changed a lot about who I was. It opened my attitude up about, just speaking up to others and just talking to new people every day. There were 50 students in the program, and every single one of them was also scared to speak their mind. But as an instructor, it was my role to help them speak up. Even though I didn't have this attitude at first, FBLA especially helped me find this attitude about myself. It helped me speak up to others, it helped me encourage others to find who they were and find problems that they wanted to solve in the real world. It also helped me find problems to solve myself, and it also helped me speak up as a person. It made me more confident and it made it easier for me to, find solutions to things that other people might not have found. So this is a group of friends that I eventually formed when I moved here, and this is a year after I moved. So I found so many new people in my life, and this helped me just come to school every day with a positive attitude and a growth mindset. On the top left corner of the screen, you can see my friend Aasiya and Vanshika, and both of them are two of the best people in my life. Vanshika was the first girl I met in freshman leadership, and ever since then, I've always talked to her every day. We talk about everything together. She does Bhangra as well, and she's one of the best friends that I've ever met. Then on the other side of that picture, you can see two of my classmates from French. French is a class that you might not expect to find people like friends in. You might expect to find them in electives or non-core classes, but French really helped me find a bigger community to be friends with. Instead of just being friends with people in my grade, I decided to be friends with people in other grades, such as juniors or seniors, and this actually helped me learn more about them and learn more about those classes in general to prepare me for what's to come. On the bottom left, you can see one of my friends from one of the previous pictures from Virginia. We're still friends and we meet occasionally a lot, and even though we're 3,000 miles apart, that doesn't change the bond that we have together. Then on the bottom right, you can see a picture at the Hoko rally this year. And last year, I didn't go to any rallies, I didn't do any socializing with anyone. But this year, that completely changed because my attitude about everything changed, and I decided to be more confident in myself and in my actions, which led me to make more friends and meet more people. So this picture shows some of my hobbies that I decided to start as soon as I moved. So on the top picture, you can see a picture of a lineup of Bhangra dancers, and I actually took this picture at the last Bhangra performance, and this is just something that inspires me so much to try new things, because just seeing them go up there every show, just dancing their hearts out, that inspires me so much to be like them, and just inspires me so much to try new things like that. Then on the bottom you can see all the FBLA members at Bay Section, which is our annual regional conference in the Bay Area. And in the front, it's the row of officers, and I'm right there. And that also helped me find a new community to be friends with and just build more connections with. And it exposed me to networking more with others and just, being open to sharing my ideas with other people. FBLA and hunger are two of the main core things that help me get through my day every day. They help me find new passions, and they help me expose myself to new ideas every day, even though I might be scared to approach them. The choreo that hunger involves remembering involves a lot of work, and it also helps me learn more about how you can just put yourself out there even though you don't know everything at first. It gives you that courage to stand up to anything that you want, even though you might not have that courage originally. FBLA gave me those skills that I need to be a confident speaker and be just confident in myself and have the courage to not try anything new, even though I might not be experienced in a topic. For example, I took part in the competition that involved remembering a lot of retail terms and pricing strategies, and even though I had no idea what these were at first, FBLA taught me how to take it with a new stance and just helped me remember all these terms every day, even though I might not have known them before. It gave me that inspiration to find new ideas to remember, even though it was something new that was never experienced and no one else was helping me. It gave me that self-confidence to believe in myself and helped me do well at the regional conference and qualify for states next week. All of these passions in life can help everyone in life just experience those new hobbies and all those new ideas and just do better and kind of get better at, growing themselves. And even though you might not be interested in these particular hobbies, that doesn't mean you can't find different ones that are better for you. And all of these hobbies can always help you build your self-confidence, because that's what's going to define you in the future. How can others be confident in you if you aren't confident in yourselves? That's the most important trait that you should know, is to be confident in yourself and have the courage to try new things, even though you might be afraid to at the start. This is the best thing that I had ever done, and I think if I hadn't moved, this never would have happened. And even though I regretted it at first, I realized that the move kind of defined me and helped me become a new person and the person I am today. Thank you.
Our next speaker is David Ramadan.